Good evening and welcome to the first of two meetings tonight. My name is Dennis Buckley, Mayor of the City of Beech Grove. And at this time, we will convene our Board of Sanitation meeting for Tuesday, February the 20th, 2018. In lieu of a roll call, I will ask each participant to introduce themselves, beginning on my far right.
Dave Harrison.
Dan McMillan, Clerk Treasurer.
Craig Wiley, City Attorney.
Sandy Seward.
Thank you, Board. You've been presented a printed copy of the minutes of the previous meeting dated Monday, February 5th, 2018. Floor is open for any questions, comments, or corrections.
I have none, thank you.
I have none.
No questions, comments, or corrections. I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make said motion.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. This evening, Board, you have 3 pages of wastewater claims in the amount of $179,070.30. The floor is open for any questions or comments.
I have none, thank you.
I have none.
No questions or comments. I'll ask for a motion to approve the wastewater claims dated February 20th, 2018 in the amount of $179,070.30.
I'll make said motion.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. We have no unfinished business from the previous meeting, and we have no new business for this meeting this evening. Comments from board members?
I have none, thank
I
you.
have none.
No comments. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
The meeting is adjourned at 6:02 p.m. We will convene the Board of Public Works and Safety in 5 minutes. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the second and final meeting this evening. My name is Dennis Buckley, Mayor of the City of Beech Grove, and at this time we will convene our Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for Tuesday, February the 20th, 2018. In lieu of a roll call, I will ask each participant to introduce themselves, beginning on my far right.
Dave Harrison.
Dan McMillan, Clerk Treasurer.
Craig Wiley, City Attorney.
Sandy Seward.
Thank you, Board. You have been presented a printed copy of the minutes of the previous meeting dated Monday, February the 5th, 2018. The floor is open for any questions, comments, or corrections.
I have a comment, please. There's no information in these minutes. There's no substance, there's no discussion points, things that we had talked about at the meeting. It's just a basic of who approved what topic. And I asked for this back in early January, and we're kind of gone back to that. So if I could ask for a little bit more information, that would be very helpful, please.
Dave, any other questions, comments, or corrections?
No, I have none.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries. This evening, Board, you have 25 pages of corporate claims in the amount of $746,923.71. The floor is open for any questions or comments.
I have none.
No questions or comments. I'll ask for a motion to approve the corporate claims dated February 20th, 2018 in the amount of $746,923.71.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you, Board. We have no unfinished business to carry over from the previous meeting. Under new business tonight, we have several items. The first one is bid opening for 2018 paving. Those in attendance, we have rundown sheets in the back. If you haven't picked one up to tally these bids up, you're certainly welcome to grab one. And at this time, it's customary that I'll ask our board member, Sandy Seward, to open the bids and read them aloud.
The first bid is from Milestone Contractors. And the amount of the bid is $681,000. The second sealed bid is from Reeve Riley. Their bid is $572,533.54. Third one is Midwest Paving. Their bid is $589,034.10. Next one is Globe Asphalt Paving. Their bid is $492,360.25. The next one is Robertson Paving. And their bid is $512,394.50. And the last bid is JKES Incorporated, also doing business as Smith Projects. And their bid is $499,998. And that is all of the sealed bids.
Bill, can you approach the desk, please? We will ask our engineers to review these bids and then come back to the board at our next meeting on March 5th, is it?
Yep.
March 5th for a recommendation. All right. And thanks to everybody who picked up a packet and put in a bid this evening. We will move on to sanitary sewer rehab project, quote approval. Joe Bartles. Joe? Welcome.
Thank you. I got a couple of handouts. First is a cost estimate.
You're fine.
Thank you.
Second is just a exhibit of the project area.
Okay.
I had also, you could use mine, Joe. I had also pulled that out of the
Okay.
project scope.
So the proposed 2018 sanitary sewer rehab project involves rehab of roughly 2,938 linear feet of 8-inch clay sanitary sewer via cured-in-place pipe, commonly referred to as CIPP. It also includes cleaning and televising of these sewers, lateral reinstatements, and protruding lateral removals. These sewers were first identified by city staff, and then we confirmed by looking at closed-circuit televising video that these segments in question are in fact in a state of deterioration. We noticed cracks, several root intrusions, some places where the sewer line was actually broken, and then some locations where there was active infiltration coming in. So we plan on soliciting quotes from 4 CIPP contractors, those being Lane Inliner, SAK Construction, Miller Pipeline, and In Situ Form Technologies. Tentatively, as of right now, the quote package has those quotes due March 16th at 4 p.m. And as you see before you there with the cost estimate, the estimated construction cost is $81,200. So at this point, we're just requesting authorization from the board to move forward with soliciting those quotes.
I'll open the floor up for any questions or comments from the board.
If we didn't do these projects, what would happen?
Well, we would,
So a lot of these sewers, as I mentioned, are in a pretty severe state of deterioration. So much so that if you look at some of the configurations of them, most of them do happen to be in the streets and things like that. But if the city does not address these, it could cause sewer collapses
And fail?
and fail. Yep. Which ultimately ends up being a lot more expensive to fix in the long run. I did mention also infiltration. That's not the primary objective of CIPP rehab, but it kind of is a side benefit. It does kind of seal up the sewers a little bit better so that you don't have the clear groundwater getting in.
Thank you.
I think another significant point, this subdivision's called Park Grove, and this completes once we do this project, this completes the total lining of every pipe in this neighborhood.
Yeah, the exhibit, if you look, kind of seems a little strange because there are some areas that aren't highlighted. Those actually have been previously rehabbed. So this, as you mentioned, Mayor, that would finish up this subdivision.
And it's, especially down on Man Drive, it's bad shape, really bad. The sewer rehab budget are, what do they call it, Dan, the maintenance, or what's that category called? Is it projects, or?
Yeah, maintenance, upgraded.
Has 175,000, so this would fit in that.
Within that scope.
So if there's not any further questions or comments, I'll ask for a motion to proceed with the getting quotes.
I'll make said motion.
I'd second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries.
Great.
And you say we'll see you back here at the second meeting in March?
Yes, yep,
Okay.
thank you.
Also, Joe, I think, I'll have to look at this. I think you guys are next up. Certificate of completion on North Bend, stormwater. Go ahead.
Yes, so that project has reached final completion. I believe the substantial completion certificate has been submitted, and the final pay application has also been submitted from the contractor.
This is in your packet, board, and the first one is titled Certificate of Substantial Completion. Any questions or comments from board members?
Is this the one on North Bend?
Yes.
I got a question, it's probably a dumb one, but how do you know when, I mean, that just got completed like in December, January? How do you know it works at this time?
I mean, it's a little tough to know now, because,
I mean, do they come out and check it when it really rains or something like that, or?
that is definitely an option, but I mean, just from a, practical perspective, if you see less water standing in these areas, that's a pretty good indication that the project is doing what's intended to do.
Okay.
It seems like we might test that over the next 24 hours as well, so,
See how it holds 4 inches. of-
right.
Did we make a motion on this?
No.
No.
Not yet.
A motion to approve the certificate of substantial completion.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. And there's one other item, is the application for final payment, Joe. Do you have that sheet?
I do not, no.
Okay, the final payment, and then this, this particular job is complete. The final payment is $4,592.83. You should have that form in your packet as well. And then that relieves our obligation of payment to Eagle Valley. Any questions or comments from board members?
I have none. Thank
No.
you.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the final payment of $4,592.83.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. This is for Emily, and she said that once she got it all together, she would send our copies back to us.
Okay.
And this has been signed already, we're ready to go.
Okay.
All right?
This final payment, is it made out to Westler or Eagle Valley?
Eagle Valley.
Okay.
The contractor on the project, yeah.
Thank you, Board. Move on to the next new order of business. This is an update on the trash truck purchase. Brad?
Good evening, Mayor and Board. So the official number came back at $197,899. I did sign off on that on February 7th, 2018, so the truck was officially ordered then. Again, we purchased through the NJPA quote, which was through Sites Central Indiana Truck Equipment Corporation. And it was very smooth and great way to do business. So I think next year when we are up for another one, this was a great way to do it. And they said most likely we would take delivery probably mid-May, so.
You, off the top of your head, I meant to ask you this today. 5 years ago, what it cost us for a truck, do you remember?
They were, I think we spent right out about 350,000 for two, or 360, say about 180. So we're maybe 17,000 higher per truck, which is probably just the cost of things going up over 5 years.
Okay, Board, have any, this is not an item for approval, but does the Board have any questions or comments for Public Works?
I have none. Glad we're getting that equipment.
We're just getting one, right?
Correct.
Well, Dave, Dan and I talked about that with Brad earlier. It would be, we had two options, go into debt, 5-year for two, or buy one and pay cash this year and buy another one next year and pay cash.
And we still got two pretty good ones though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dan had budgeted 225,000, so we're well under that, so we had
When
a
I
little room
did
to
the
play.
budget, I didn't know what the
Right.
new cost would be, so I went high on it just in case, and we fell within that range.
Is this one gonna be just about like what you got, Brad?
Pretty much identical. There are some things with the engine that have, when we bought the engines, or the trucks in 12, right after that, they did some things with some clean air technology that's probably driven the cost up a little bit, that's mandatory now on trucks like this. So these new ones will have some of that. But yeah, they're essentially identical trucks.
All right, Brad, thank you so much.
No problem. And I would make a comment on the previous subject. Couple things. One, Phil is really good about going out when we have a rain event. He really likes to see these projects in action. So he's good about monitoring. When we get a rain after we've completed something like North Bend, he'll go out and watch it. Also, we do rely pretty heavily on homeowners, and they'll give us feedback a lot of times. It's almost always positive. But we have a former employee that lives right there, and he came in one day, and he was very thankful and said that he's not seen any water. So things like that help, and you sort of know that and Wessler's got a great history of having success. So just something to throw in there. We do sort of keep track after those projects are completed of how they're actually handling the water and if it's actually successful, and generally they are. So, all right, thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Next order of business is permission for road closure, Beech Grove Drug-Free Coalition. And I'll ask the clerk to read the letter into the record, then we'll open it up for discussion.
Dear Board of Works members, the Beech Grove Comprehensive Drug-Free Coalition is planning their coalition kickoff National Prevention Week event on May 16, 2018. The time of our event will be 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. We would like to hold the event at the 800 block of Main Street and are requesting the following for approval. Road closures, Main Street, 7th Avenue to 9th Avenue. Set up 4:30 and clean up by 8:30. Use of City Hall steps for event speakers, coalition members, local politicians, and legislators. Coalition member tents will be placed on Main Street along road closure area. Safety Service of Beech Grove Police Department, Beech Grove Fire Department, both are members of the coalition, but we want to make sure their presence is that of safety for the event as well. Public Works, garbage, recycle cans placed along event area. Chairs, 60 folding chairs if the city has access to them. In consideration of a weather contingency plan, we would like to request the use of the upstairs boardroom in City Hall on the above date and time frame. Please let us know of any permits or required forms needed for our event. If you have any questions, please contact John Barnes. Thank you in advance for your consideration of our request. Respectfully submitted, John Barnes and Diana Hendricks.
All right. I'll open it up for any questions or comments.
No, I have a couple. So all of the requests, the bulleted requests, are we all okay with that?
Well, I don't
I
think the department heads have had a chance to review this.
Okay.
And I put it on the agenda to get it out there for comment. I'm not really sure I want to approve this tonight. I want to take it under consideration
Okay.
and let
Then,
the department heads review it. But I also want to go down here on Main Street and talk to these business owners that are affected by this, to make sure they have an understanding of what these folks want to do and the time frame so that their business is not compromised. So, any other comments, Dave?
No, what day?
It's in May.
May
May
18th.
16th. What day is that? Does anybody know?
May 16th.
I know it's May 16th.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, yep.
I meant like the day of the week.
I have no clue.
Okay.
Do you know if this group is a not-for-profit?
They are not, and they talked about, left it off here, they talked about obtaining insurance.
Okay.
I'll have to bring that up to them.
Either that or teaming up with a not-for-profit to
Insurance.
It just says it's the Prevention Week event on May 16th, and May 16th is a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Make sure there's no court that night.
Okay.
That's another good point.
So we're going to table it.
Yeah, unless somebody wants to make another motion, but I'll entertain a motion to table this until we get proper review.
I'll make some motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you, Board. Next item business is change of pay status, Fire Department. Chief?
Mayor and Board, Lieutenant Scott Johnson was removed from the Merit Board rank as lieutenant by the Beech Grove Merit Board on February 7th, 2018. I would request that Scott's pay is entered into the record as firefighter starting February 10th, 2018, our current pay period. I've attached a letter with his pay rate.
Floor is open for any questions or comments.
I have no comments.
I have none.
Ask for a motion to approve the chief's request to adjust Scott Johnson's payroll.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Did you want to, I read an email earlier about an insurance issue. What's the deal?
Yeah, I've been corresponding with Dan on that. I apologize, I only have one copy here, a final copy. I'll pass this around. You guys can read it if you want. The question comes up, our new employee, Michelle Saunders, who started February 11th, she took the city's insurance. And with the city's insurance through AIM, it's their policy, like it or not, they require the city of Beech Grove to pay her full premium for February. So she came on mid-month, and she actually came within the first 15 days of February. By coming on the city's policy within the first 15 days, the city is entitled, we have to pay her whole entire February premium. So by that standards, the city puts out her premium for 2 pays for February, which she's owed. Dan tries to keep the city on track. He pays our premium in advance. So with that, he asked for her to pay the 2 advance premiums and 1 in April. With her pay period as it stands, her employment date, she'll receive her first paycheck March 2nd. And, as the city pays in the arrears, is for the February. But she's asked to pay for 5 premium payments, which is $1,180 out of that first check, which is a substantial burden for a new employee. So what, my suggestion is just trying to work out something with Michelle and the city to work out the payments. I mean, that's a huge burden. We have 2 months in the year. One is actually in March and one's in August, where we have a 3 pay period month where insurance is not taken out. So I've suggested, Dan, maybe we can use those 2 months. Just let Michelle know, hey, you're not going to catch a break. Sorry about your luck, but we're going to have to catch you up for the city and make you make insurance payments these 2 pay periods. As far as the other, I don't want to give Michelle any special treatment that we have any other employee. Honestly, this is the first time I've heard of an employee have to pay 5 premium payments of first pay. It's again, just a huge burden. I know it's not Dan's fault for, he's just following the rules. And he's keeping the city afloat and making sure our insurance is paid a month in advance. I appreciate that also. I think that's phenomenal that the city has the money to do so. It says a lot for this board and our council and the community as a whole. I'm just trying to find a solution of what we can do as a city body to help not put this burden on our employees.
When you talked to me about it earlier today, I said I have no clue on how insurance premiums are paid. I don't, Chief, Brad, how do you guys, we have to be, whatever's good for one is good for all.
We've never had the issue. I've never had it happen.
Well, let me explain just one thing. This is not my decision as far as doing this. This is IACT or AIM who has mandated that's the way it's been done. I've already paid for February and March. It's already been mailed, but that's when they tell me I have to pay. So it's not that I'm paying in advance. And I agree with Rob. It's terrible that that is put on them. But at the same time, we have to pay, all the deductions have to be done within them timeframes. I think we could spread it out for the pays in February. And, she don't get a check till March.
To March. So there's March and August that has a pay period, the 3 pays where she'd have to pay. And that'd make up 2 of the payments to help out, definitely. I've offered if we have to find the money of our budget to help offset the cost for February, we will, because Michelle, and I greatly appreciate this board because the night you guys approved her for employment here, went downstairs, called her on the phone, had her come in the next day. We got all her paperwork done down at City Hall. Chief Pierce had her down at the uniform house by noon, getting uniforms. She was receiving a call from Brownsburg for a job offer that next day. So we just barely got her in, the last minute before she was offered a job somewhere else. And then she is in recruit class now. So we did a phenomenal job getting her on board and trying to take care of her. But I think all the employees, there has to be a happy medium to take care of our own people because they're our greatest resource, and we're investing in her for a career over
And that is a
25 years.
Pretty substantial, financial burden. So,
My suggestion would be, and it would still meet in them timeframes, that ordinarily, we don't have 3 payrolls in February.
right.
This early in the year,
Right.
that's a rarity. So my suggestion would be, it's spread out over 4 pays, which would be 2 in March and 2 in April. And then she would pick up from there on out. And then that way, we would still meet our time frame where it's paid in the same month. Even though I've already paid it, that would still help her out instead of one large sum.
think that would be acceptable to her?
Yeah, she'd make the full payments in March and August, and then are you just talking about,
March and April. It's spread out over 4 pays.
okay. I'd like to see what the numbers are broken down, because just make sure that, we do what we can for them. And that one payment in March would be a full payment, right? That there was no insurance taken out?
I've already paid insurance for her for February and for March and April. Or I'll be paying April. I've paid February and March already.
So can it be divided, so you're saying divide it now between the 2 months?
Between March and
And
April.
April.
And it'll fit that time frame. And then one of the issues is, every other employee that's hired on has paid the full amount, like he said, but it hasn't been as much because of the 3 pays in February,
Okay.
which makes somewhat of an adjustment.
Okay, so can you present that to her, Rob, and see what the breakdown is? And if it's something that she just still can't do, is it a possibility to look into that 3rd month?
Sure, I'll have Dan can just email me the numbers and we can get them off to her. But I definitely think we need to do something
I
for,
agree.
not only her, I mean, for anybody from here on out. I think there's a good solution, and we have some excellent people put on the task.
I think my recommendation to the board would be to approve the adjustment in the pay, but leave it up to the chief and the clerk to figure it out.
Totally agree. I'll make said motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye and the motion carries.
Thank you. This brings me another question. Since Courtney Henderson retired, she had the city's insurance. Is she paid a month in advance then? Will we have to adjust her final check to get money back?
There's a possibility. There's a rate that they pay from the 1st to the 15th, and then from the 16th to 31 that is set up by AIM. And her insurance would cancel at 12 o'clock midnight on whatever her last day of employment with the city is. Just like it starts the very first day that they're hired. So just like Michelle, we've already been paying her insurance because she started it the day she was employed by the city.
And I'm sure I'm gonna get this question also from Michelle, because if she's catching up 5 payments to be in advance pay, and she'll continue to pay her regular premium, when she leaves, I guess she'll be entitled to the advance payment she already made.
No, that's not correct. because she's insured right now. She was insured the day she started.
Right, I understand that. And that's in February, so there's 2 payments in February that she missed out on because she wasn't there. Actually, the first payment in March, she'll get paid, it's back paid, so that would count backwards. If you go by that way, it'd go backwards. But if she's paying 5 payments, her first pay check, and continues to make premiums every
A
pay
month
after
ahead,
that,
Right?
yeah, she'd be
A month
Yeah.
ahead.
She'd be
I've
ahead.
never seen,
That's the way the city has to pay it. It's not the way I want to pay it. It's the way IAC demands we do it. With Christian Duncan, we never had these issues. He would just call the insurance carrier and say, they're starting on this date. We could budget until it was caught up. This company, they won't give you 1 minute after midnight. You're canceled out at that time. If you remember a while back on one of our retirees, he had to go and buy the Hartford plan because he was falling right in the middle of the month. And they just don't give any. So it's nothing that I can do about it.
all right, we made the motion.
Hold on a second. So if she were to leave, say, in August, whether it be next year or whatever year, if she was to leave in August, her last day of employment was August 31st, 30th, whatever. I mean, that's when her insurance would stop, that
Correct.
day, done,
Yes.
right? But what you're saying is we already paid her for September?
That's correct.
So if
We
she
pay
paid
a
that
month.
money out, then she should get that money returned to her.
And
when
she
she
could
leaves.
get it back.
Or she would get it back?
And depending on what day of the month
Okay.
was her last payday, they've got, if you quit on the 10th, you pay through the 15th there regardless. If
Then you should at least have insurance through the 15th.
Exact, well, I don't know, that's something you'd have to talk to IAC about.
Okay.
I don't know that much about that insurance. It's strange the way it works, but they got a date of the 15th and a date of the 31st. And whatever that falls into determines how much they pay. And that's set by their board of directors, not by us, the city, anybody.
The employees pay 2 premiums per month for their insurance. So there's, 2 months out of the year where they don't have to pay. For her, she'll have to pay, we're either paying it in advance or we're paying in the arrears. So it's kind of, I think that's important for this board to establish because February, those 2 normal payments in February, she ends up catching that up the 1st of March if you go in the arrears. If she has to pay the entitled amount of February and then start paying for the advance payment, this board needs to decide that, which way we're going, so the employees will just know what to expect and how to figure things out in the future.
What was her hire date, Rob?
Her hire date was February 11th
See, that's the problem.
Which-
They charge for that from the 1st of the month
for the entire month.
for the entire month, exactly. And that's the reason why I say that 1st and 15th is crucial timing. So maybe
Okay.
the department head should look at hiring on the 1st or the 16th, and that would eliminate some of that issue.
We did have this happen last January with Joe Ramey, if you remember. He got hit for like $350.
Right.
And I reached out to Dan and he explained it. It just
Yeah,
hard on him when you're new and you're going full-time.
right.
He had been part-time and switched over and that happened to him. I just pulled up the old email so I could verify that. But
Yeah, and like I say, I don't make these rules, this is something IAC does, and we gotta live with their rules. I mean, if we wanna carry their insurance.
I think for the one, we do need to help her as much as we can, if the 2 of you can work together. And maybe keep that in mind for the next new hire, either go the 1st or the 16th.
All right, thanks, chief.
Thank you.
Let's see, request to hire crossing guard. Chief,
Good evening. Dear Mayor and Board, I'm requesting to hire Kathy Johnson for school crossing guard. She has passed a background check, and she will be paid $15.50 per hour. That's what the schedule is. She will be taking a position of one of the crossing guards that's sick.
She's just fill in.
No, she'll be a full-time one. The other crossing guard is sick and doesn't want to work anymore, put it that way.
Okay. All right. When does she start?
As soon as she's approved.
Okay.
There-
Floor's open.
there-
Go ahead.
There's openings. This one guard is sick and medically really can't work any longer. So her positions are being filled by part-time. So this crossing guard will take over the full-time position.
All right. Board have any questions or comments?
I have none.
I have none.
If not, I ask for a motion to approve the chief's request to hire Kathy Johnson for school crossing guard.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Resignation sewage works. I'll defer to Dan to read the letter into the record.
This is from Chris Harrison. Dan, I am turning in my resignation with the bus route, doing extra athletic trips, etc., and working part-time at Quality Daycare. I feel like I am stretched too thin. I would like to go ahead and work until March 16th, if that's okay. Spring break starts the following week, and that would give you enough time, hopefully, to replace me. I appreciate the time I have worked here and the opportunity given. Chris Harrison.
Questions or comments from board members?
None.
Dave, I'll ask you to abstain.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty bad excuse, really.
Something I would like to say, Chris has been an excellent employee, and in the past, she has only, well, the way they have it worked out now, she works 4 hours on Monday and 4 hours on Friday. And anyway, she normally does not work whenever school is out. So coming up on spring break, she didn't work it, and she don't work over the summer months. So I just wanted to thank her for her time, and she's done a great job.
And she did enjoy it. She did enjoy it, so.
Having said that, motion to accept the resignation.
I'll make said motion.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Last order of business is handicap parking permits. I'll defer to the clerk to read the names.
Okay, we've got two tonight, Diana Arnold and Linda Buchanan. And both these are renewals, and there's no issue with either one of them.
Motion to approve all of the handicap applications presented this evening.
I'll make said motion.
I'll second.
Oh, sorry.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. In your packet, Board, was we approved Courtney's resignation, but the letter didn't have her signature. We've included in your packet one with her signature, so
Okay.
that should put us into compliance.
Okay.
So comments from board members?
I have none.
I have none.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
The meeting is adjourned at 6:47 PM. We will convene again on Monday, March 5th. Thank you.